Chapter 1, Unit 1, Good News in Samrang. Section A2, listen to the dialogue.
I've got some excellent news for you, Sir Cheetah.
Really? What is it?
My elder sister's going to get married to Kim Seng's elder brother, Kim San.
Oh, really? What does he do these days?
He's a receptionist at Champa Hospital.
How long has he worked there?
Since he left university, for about a year.
Didn't he want to become an army officer like his father?
Yes, but the ministry wanted painters, carpenters and technicians, and Kim Sang isn't good at those things.
Chapter 1, Unit 2, The News. Section B2. Listen to the story and dialogue.
Mr. K.O. Dara and Mrs. Susan Jones are journalists. They are talking about the current news.
Susan, there's been a fire in Champa. It destroyed many houses.
Really? Yesterday evening I watched the television. During the news, the reporter described a big forest fire in Indonesia. It's destroying all the trees.
Oh dear. What can they do about it?
It's a very difficult task. The president has met the minister who has responsibility for forests, but the minister demanded a lot of money because he needs a lot of firefighters.
Section C3. Listen to Rotana and Kim Seng. They are asking and answering the question in Section A. Listen to their answers and fill in your table.
Do you ever watch the news on television, Kim Seng?
Yes, I do. How about you, Ratana?
No, I don't. Do you ever listen to the news on the radio, Kim Seng?
No, I don't. Do you, Ratana?
Yes, I do. Do you ever read the news in a newspaper, Kim Seng?
Yes, I do. How about you?
Yes, I do too. Which newspaper do you read, Kim Seng?
I read the Cambodia Times. Which one do you read, Ratana?
Same as you. What news are you interested in, Kim Seng?
I'm interested in international news. How about you?
I'm interested in the local news, Kim Seng.
Section C4. Listen to Sokpi and Bora. Listen to their answers and fill in your table.
Do you ever watch the news on the television, Bora?
Yes, I do. Do you, Sophie?
Yes, I do too. Do you ever listen to the news on the radio, Bora?
No, I don't. Do you, Sophie?
Yes, I do. Do you ever read the news in the newspaper, Bora?
Yes, I do. How about you, Sophie?
No, I don't. Which newspaper do you read, Bora?
I read the Cambodia Times.
What news are you interested in, Bora?
I like news about football. How about you, Sophie?
I like news about famous people.
Chapter 2, Unit 2, A Traffic Accident. Section A2. Listen to the story and dialogue.
Last Sunday, Monika was waiting at a bus stop when she saw a traffic accident near a crossroads. A policeman asked her about what she saw.
What did you see?
Well, I was waiting at the bus stop when I saw a boy on a bicycle. Generally, these young boys go too fast, and I know it's harmful.
And was it?
Yes. A car came across the road to the traffic lights there. They were red, but the driver didn't stop. He turned left and hit the boy.
So what did you do?
Well, I was very concerned, and I ran to that phone box and called the hospital. An ambulance arrived quickly, and after its arrival, I spoke to a nurse.
Thank you. That's perfect. Would you like to visit the boy in hospital now?
Oh, yes, please, I would.
Then I'll take you there.
Chapter 2, Unit 3. Where is the hospital? Section A2. Now listen to the story and then listen to the dialogue.
After Monika visited Nara in the hospital, she went to Samrong to see Nara's mother, Mrs. Tushtida. Now listen to Mrs. Tushtida and Monika.
I want to see Nara in Phnom Penh, but I don't know where the hospital is.
I'll go with you, Mrs. Tida. You don't know Phnom Penh, and I must protect you.
Oh, thank you very much, Monika.
First, we will go to the bus station.
Where's that?
Look at this map. You see this circle?
Yes.
Well, it's the new market, and the bus station is very near it. From here, we turn left and walk to the traffic lights on Monivong.
Oh, yes.
Then we turn right and walk up Monivong.
I see.
When we come to the next traffic lights, we turn left and walk about 300 metres along this road. It's Kampuchea Crown, and the hospital is on our right. It's opposite a bookshop and next to a hotel.
Chapter 3, Unit 2. Peter Goes Shopping. Section A2. Listen to the story and dialogue.
This morning, Peter wanted to buy a blouse because he's going to send it to his friend, Monika, in Cambodia.
May I help you, sir?
Yes, please. I'm looking for a blouse. I like this blue one. How much are you charging for it?
£15, sir.
Oh dear. Do you have any cheaper ones?
Yes, sir. We are offering this at a special 20% discount rate.
I'll have this pink one. I like the bunch of flowers on it. Can I pay with a check? I don't have enough cash on me.
No problem, sir. Here's your receipt.
Chapter 3, Unit 3. In the Market. Section A2. Listen to the story and dialogue.
This morning, Monika met a friend, Sochiata, in the market near her home in Phnom Penh.
Hello, Sucheta. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you, Monika. And you?
I'm fine too. Are you buying an iron?
No, I bought this iron yesterday, but it doesn't work. Now I want a refund.
I see. Sucheta, my birthday party is next week. Could you help me prepare the food?
Yes, of course. But won't you buy takeaway food?
No. I used to do that when I had a party. But if you help me, I can cook everything at home.
Is it a big party?
Yes, so there'll be a lot of work. Can I pay you for your help, Sucheta?
Oh no, Monika. I don't need any payment.
Chapter 4, Unit 1. A Trip to England. Section A3. Listen to the dialogue.
Hello, Dara. I hear you're going to visit England.
Yes, that's right.
How many people are going with you?
Oh, I'm only going with my manager.
I see. When are you going to start your journey?
Next week.
And how long are you going to stay in England?
Well, my manager hasn't decided yet. He's making all the arrangements.
Is your visit part of a particular project?
Yes, that's right. Our project's called Better Communications for Able Journalists.
So you're aiming to become a better journalist?
Yes, that's right.
C2. Listen to the second dialogue.
When are we leaving for England, sir?
We're going to the airport on Monday morning and flying in the afternoon.
And when will we arrive in London?
On Tuesday morning.
I see. Will we have our first meeting with the other journalists on Tuesday?
No, that's on Wednesday morning. Then, in the afternoon, we're going to visit a very famous library.
How about Thursday?
Well, we're going to visit 2 newspaper offices in the morning. Then, in the afternoon, we're going to continue our journalists' meeting.
But won't we have any free time for shopping?
Of course we will. We can go shopping on Friday morning. But in the afternoon, we have to go to the airport and start our journey back.
Chapter 5, Unit 1, A Tragic Event. Section A2. Listen to the story and dialogue.
Some weeks after Dara returned to Cambodia from England, he went to Phnom Penh. He wanted to see his friend, Susan, who is also a journalist.
I haven't seen you for a long time, Dara. I heard you made a trip to London recently.
Yes, I was sent there by the Asian Journalists Association. I joined it last month.
How many of you were sent?
2 of us, my manager and me.
And what was the purpose of your trip, Dara?
Well, the project was called Better Communications for Able Journalists. But my manager also wanted to find out about the extent of the recent drug problem. He has a personal interest in it. One of his employees was shot by thieves recently.
Oh, how tragic.
Yes, they wanted money for drugs. Did you read about it in the newspaper?
Yes, I read about it a few days ago. Did your manager find out more about the drug problem?
Yes, he collected some important new data.
Chapter 5, Unit 2, The 7 o'clock News. Section B6. Listen to the news on the radio.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 7 o'clock news. 2 people on a motorbike, a young man and his mother, were badly hurt when a car crashed into them yesterday afternoon. The accident happened in Phnom Penh a few minutes after 2 o'clock, when the young man and his mother were returning home from the Bongking Kong market. The car, which was speeding along Road 360, hit the motorbike on the corner of Roads 360 and 51. The man in the car wanted to escape, but he immediately hit another motorbike and stopped. The man jumped out of his car and ran away, but he was caught by the police. Our reporter said the man was identified by the police from his papers the following morning. He was, they said, involved in drugs.
Yesterday morning, a meeting was held by the government in Phnom Penh to consider new investments in government projects. Our reporter said the meeting was attended by approximately 50 local and foreign companies. At the meeting, an agreement on new investments was discussed, and the local and foreign companies were invited to associate under a special investment union. Otherwise, a government officer explained, the increase in investments could not be managed easily by the government.
Chapter 5, Unit 3, A Strange Story. Section A2. Listen to the dialogue.
I've just read a strange story in today's newspaper.
Really? What was it about?
A meeting of South Asian countries in New Delhi. The main discussion was about defence.
Defence? By which country against which country?
Well, that's what the reporter asked. One of the foreign ministers referred to a few countries, but, of course, he wasn't exact.
Oh, I've read so many stories like that before.
I don't know why meetings like that are held, or stories like that are printed.
I do. Ministers enjoy having a nice time in 5-star hotels, and the newspaper didn't have a better story.
Chapter 6, Unit 2, A Ghost in the Garden. Section A2, listen to the dialogue.
Do you believe in ghosts, Ratana?
Oh, yes. I've believed in them ever since I saw one.
When did you see one?
Last April, when it was very hot. Although I was exhausted, I often used to wake up in the middle of the night and sit by the open window. One night there was a lovely full moon, just like tonight, and the garden was looking particularly beautiful. Then suddenly I had this strange feeling. At first I felt cold, then I saw something strange.
Oh dear, what was it, Ratana?
I thought it was a man at first, but it grew to a huge size, taller than a tree.
What happened then?
It slowly disappeared, just like smoke on a windy day. It was a terrible shock, because then I knew it was not a man, but a ghost.
Chapter 6, Unit 3, 3 Deaths. Section A2, listen to the story and dialogue.
Since her father and Rotana told their ghost stories, Sopias felt afraid of ghosts herself. So she decided to find out more about them from her father, Mr. Kim Niak.
Did you really see a ghost, Dad?
Yes, of course. Don't you believe me?
Well, yes. But weren't you surprised?
Surprised? I was shocked.
Have you read any ghost stories since then?
Oh, yes. I'm reading one tonight.
Are you? What's it about?
It's about a haunted man and a very strange death.
What was strange about the death?
Well, this woman dies of hiccups.
Hiccups? Is it possible to die of hiccups?
Why not? The woman had a weak heart, and when she discovered her husband's corpse in the garden, the shock gave her the hiccups. And, well, she just couldn't stop.
Who murdered her husband?
Her husband's brother. He loved his sister-in-law and wanted her for himself. But then she died, and the sound of her hiccups haunted him all his life. He tried to run away, but his sister-in-law's ghost chased him from one country to another, and her hiccups sounded in his ears until he died a horrible death.
Chapter 7, Unit 2, Journey to Mondulkiri. Section A2, listen to the dialogue.
Hello, Susan. What's that?
It's a guidebook. I'm planning a trip to Mondulkiri.
Really? How will you get there?
Could I fly?
That's the only easy way, Susan. Mondulkiri's miles away. Why do you want to go there?
It's for my magazine. I'm responsible for writing about travel.
As well as politics?
Yes.
But Mondulkiri's not a popular place. There won't be many hotels there. I don't know where you could stay.
Yes, but my magazine isn't for people who like group tours, Dara. It's for individuals looking for adventure.
If there's nothing there, what could they do? Don't you think your journey will be a waste of time?
No, because there will be something there. Last week I met an Englishwoman who's visited Mondulkiri. I talked to her for about 30 minutes, and she said it's very beautiful and interesting. She likes the people and their culture. She also likes the forests and mountains. Now I'm going there to find out for myself.
Chapter 7, Unit 3, Dara decides to travel. Section A2, listen to the dialogue.
Hello, Dara. What's that?
This is my case, and this is my air ticket.
So, you finally decided to come with me to Mondulkiri. What a surprise.
I know. I rang my manager this morning, and he let me adjust my programme.
That's perfect.
Well, at first he was concerned, but then I explained everything to him. Finally, he understood that it was a good idea, and he said I could go.
Well, it is a good idea. If you don't travel around Dara, you'll become provincial and boring. There'll be lots of new things for you to see in Mondulkiri. And if the dust collects on your desk for a few days, well, won't hurt anyone.
Chapter 8, Unit 1. The Tiger and the Monk. Section A2. Listen to the story.
In the past, there lived a monk in the forests of Cambodia. One day he was walking in the forest when he saw a tiger. The tiger was lying on the ground near a hole. When the monk examined the tiger, he was shocked. It was dead. There must be a dangerous snake in the hole, the monk thought. It has killed my friend, the tiger. The monk found some medicine, which he collected from the forest, and put it on the tiger's skin. Suddenly, the tiger opened its eyes. The monk was very happy, but when the tiger saw the monk, he was very angry.
Why can't you let me sleep?
He asked.
My friend, you weren't sleeping. You were dead.
Explained the monk.
Dead? Do I look dead?
Asked the tiger.
No.
But you were trying to kill me, and now I'm going to kill you.
I was trying to help you, not kill you.
Explained the monk, but the tiger didn't listen.
Look,
said the monk.
here are my friends.
The tiger looked, and there was a cow, a horse, and a rabbit.
Did you hear our quarrel?
The tiger asked.
Oh, yes, Mr. Tiger,
came the reply.
Then who's right?
The tiger asked again.
You are Mr. Tiger,
replied the cow and the horse, who were very frightened of the tiger. But the rabbit said,
Mr. Tiger, first I must know what happened. Do you have a good memory?
Of course I do. It's very good,
replied the tiger.
Then please show me the exact place where you like to sleep.
The tiger went and lay down by the snake's hole. Suddenly, a huge snake came out and killed the tiger. The monk was shocked.
Look what's happened,
He said,
I must go and help the tiger.
Wait a minute.
said the rabbit.
Please listen to me. In my opinion, you're a good man, but I know this tiger well. He's a harmful character. He isn't reasonable. If you help him, he'll kill you.
You're right, my friend,
said the monk.
I can't help the tiger. The risk is too great, but I will pray for him.
Chapter 9, Unit 1. Invitation to a Wedding. Section A2. Listen to the story and dialogue.
Danny is getting married next week. She and her sister, Rotana, have gone to Phnom Penh to buy some material and invite their relatives and friends to the wedding. This morning they went to see their friend Sochiata and had a lively discussion with her.
Hello, Sucheta. We've come to invite you to Danny's wedding.
Oh, how wonderful. When is it?
Next Sunday.
Oh, I didn't realize it was so soon. Can I help?
Don't worry, Sucheta. Everything is already prepared.
How are you feeling, Danny?
Well, when I'm with Ratana, I'm fine. But when I'm alone, I start to panic.
Have you ever felt like that before?
No, never. I really don't know what's the matter.
Well, it's not because of your relationship with Kinsan. He's such a lively, intelligent person. Not everyone has such good fortune as you. No, I think it's because you have never got married before.
Chapter 9, Unit 2, at Danny's wedding. Section A3, listen to the story and dialogue.
Monika is speaking to her friend Sochiata at Danny's wedding in Samrong.
Hello, Sucheta. Did you pass your exams?
Yes, Monika, I was successful. I hear you are getting married. Is it just gossip?
Can you keep a secret, Sucheta?
Oh, yes, Monika, don't worry.
Well, I'm marrying Mike next month.
Oh, how marvelous. In Phnom Penh?
Yes, that's right.
So you and Mike will have a traditional Cambodian wedding?
Yes, but we're also going to have a traditional wedding in England.
Is it necessary?
No, but we like the idea, and then Mike can present me to all his relations.
And they'll give masses of lovely wedding presents to you. I wish I was as lucky as you, Monika.
You mustn't be jealous, Sucheta. One day you'll have a wonderful wedding too.
Chapter 10, Unit 3, Noises in the Jungle, Part 1, Section A3. Listen to the story.
That's the horrible sound the people in the village heard. It might be a tiger, said Viveka. You've been reading too many novels, said Susan. People meet tigers in works of literature, not in real life. I know you don't believe in ghosts, but don't you believe in tigers either? Viveka asked her friend. Well, it's easy to be deceived while walking through a dark place like this, Susan replied. In the jungle, people see and hear things that just aren't there. Well, look at that, Viveka said, while pointing into the thick jungle. Susan looked. Could she see something large moving through the trees? Two fire-red eyes looked at her between a mass of dark green leaves. Susan began to feel very frightened. The men say it's a tiger. They're going to frighten it away, Viveka said. But it might come towards us, Susan said. She felt something hot very near her. She turned and saw a line of sharp teeth. She wanted to run, but she couldn't move. Suddenly there was a noise, and Susan nearly jumped out of her skin. Bang, bang, bang. Susan couldn't believe her eyes. How could the men from the village be so brave? They were walking towards the tiger like heroes in an adventure film. She saw the tiger running away from them, further and further into the forest. What's happened? She asked. Tigers don't like noise, Viveka explained. It won't come near the village and worry the people there for some time. Quick, let's go now, she continued. It's quite late and it might get dark soon. We must get back to the village before night. While I'm telling Krishna about our adventure, you can write up our success story.
Chapter 11, Unit 3. Who are you voting for? Section A2. Listen to the story and dialogue.
This weekend, Pisse and Sochita are in Samrong. Now they are talking with Borin, Sochita's younger brother.
What's that, Pisse?
It's a list of all the parties that are participating in the election.
How many parties are participating, Pisse?
Quite a lot. More than 30. I feel concerned because I think that's too many.
Which parties are you going to support, Pisse?
Well, I don't want to offend anyone, but there are some parties that I could never support.
Why?
Well, in my opinion, their political ideas aren't based on the wishes and needs of the people.
Yes, but which parties do you like?
Well, there's a collection of parties that have adopted basic liberal democratic ideas. I'd like to vote for all of them, but of course I can only vote for one.
Are any foreign people observing this election?
Oh yes, and they must. Otherwise it might not be free and fair.
Chapter 12, Unit 1, Our Environment. Section A3. Listen to Mr. Kimniak and his students.
Good morning, students. Today we're going to have a discussion about environmental protection. What do you think we mean by environment?
Is it the world we ourselves are living in?
Yes, but what world are we living in?
Well, I myself live in Champa, which is a town.
I live in a village area.
Which environment do you prefer?
Isn't a village environment better?
Why?
The air's fresher because there are lots of trees there, while the cities are full of nasty factories and vehicles polluting the air.
Yes, but there used to be many more trees in Samrong before. Now we're cutting them all down.
Yes, it's a problem. How should we deal with it?
Don't people need wood, especially in the winter when it's cold? Otherwise they can't cook or keep warm.
Yes, but my mother says it's our duty to plant 2 trees in the earth for every tree we cut down.
That's an excellent system. But what about our city areas? All those harmful gases from factories and vehicles are changing our environment.
My mother thinks that more people should use bicycles and cyclos. She herself uses a bicycle.
That's an original solution.
Well, they aren't noisy and they don't pollute the environment. They're also cheaper.
Yes, but aren't they too slow?
My mother says city life's getting too fast and giving people headaches. Let's slow down and enjoy life.
Chapter 13, Unit 1, Catching a Plane. Section A2. Listen to the story and dialogue.
Sucheta has written a paper on women in medicine and is going to give it in Bangkok tomorrow. Her plane leaves for Bangkok this afternoon. Monika, who is going to take her to Puchentong Airport, has just arrived at her room.
Hello, Sucheta. Are you looking for something?
Yes, my passport. I don't know where I put it. If I can't find it, how will I get to Bangkok?
Don't worry, I'll find it. Here we are. It was under this bag.
Oh, thanks. My instruments are in there.
Are they? Wow, these knives look dangerous.
If I want to take them with me, will I have to get permission from the airport security officer?
Oh, I forgot to tell you. I phoned the airport this morning and found out that you can take them, but not with you on the plane.
Oh, that's all right then.
Is this your paper?
Yes, I finished it last night.
Chapter 13, Unit 2, At the Check-in Desk. Section A3. Listen to the story and dialogue.
Sucheta has arrived at Puchentong Airport and is now talking to the check-in clerk.
May I see your passport and ticket, please?
Here you are.
Thanks. Do you have any other baggage or just this one suitcase?
No, just this one suitcase. I'm taking this bag on the plane with me. Is that all right?
Yes. You might have to declare what you've got in it at customs.
That's okay.
Where would you like to sit?
In the non-smoking section, please.
It's a non-smoking plane.
Pardon?
The whole plane's non-smoking.
Oh, I see. That's good.
Would you like a window seat?
Oh, yes, please.
Here you are. Your seat number's 35A.
Thank you. I'm feeling quite hungry. Is anything provided on the plane?
Meals are usually provided.
Where do I pay the airport tax? Is it collected here?
No, you pay over there before you go through to immigration.
Oh, right. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Chapter 14, Unit 2, Life Around the Great Lake. Section A2. Listen to the dialogue.
Rotana, I heard you went to Siem Reap last week.
Yes, that's right.
How did you go?
By boat. This time last Saturday I was on the Tonle Sap.
Wow! How was it?
It was perfect. The sun was reflected in the lake, and near the edge I saw lots of people from the villages.
What were they doing?
They were working hard, because this is the end of the wet and the start of the dry season, and the whole area was recovering from the floods.
Yes, that's a particularly important time of the year for the ordinary farmers here too. Was anyone fishing there?
Oh yes, lots of people were fishing, because around the Tonle Sap is a mixed fishing and farming area.
How could you see so much from inside your boat?
Well, I wasn't sitting inside. I got permission to sit on the roof.
Was it comfortable there?
Yes, and useful too, because I could see all around.
Chapter 14, Unit 3. What rivers can do. Section A3. Listen to the information about our rivers.
Our rivers and the Great Lake are beautiful, and one day they could become popular places for tourism. They might be able to help Cambodia become a rich country in other ways too. For example, in the wet season, the Great Lake becomes a sea in the middle of the country, with many different kinds of fish, possibly richer in fish than any other lake in the world. At the same time, when the rivers are high, they carry good soil, which is spread over a considerable area all around them. Then, in the dry season, the crops grow well in this rich soil. Rivers are essential for transport, because transport by river is cheaper than transport by road or air. The Mekong, of course, can be used by all the countries that are members of the Mekong River Commission. Cambodia became a member of the Commission's Joint Committee in 1995. Powerful rivers like the Mekong can also provide energy, so that the electricity supply produced by them might be able to meet all our future demands. When these rivers are producing our future electricity supply, will there be lots of factories all along them? Well, there might be, because although rivers help us, we don't always help them. On the other hand, rivers themselves aren't always reliable. For example, the Mekong drops 19 million tons of soil on the bottom of the Great Lake each year, which makes it more shallow. This then causes more floods to spread over a wider area, and although the soil brought by these floods might be useful, the floods themselves can be harmful. When they kill farmers and animals and destroy houses, they can even be tragic. So, like destiny, rivers bring us a mixed bag of fortune, often good, but sometimes bad. Chapter 15, Unit 3. Would you like to live in the countryside or the town? Section A2. Listen to the dialogue.
Ratana, where would you prefer to live after you finish school? In the town or in the countryside?
I'd much prefer to live in the countryside, sir.
Right. How about you, Kim Seng?
Well, I think I'd rather live in the town, sir.
Why would you prefer to live in the countryside, Ratana?
Well, there's lots of fresh air in the countryside, and the environment is much cleaner than in the town.
Yes, that's right. Kim Seng, maybe you could explain to us why you'd prefer to live in the town.
I don't like the country because of the dirt roads. They're not easy to travel on. Either they're very dusty or they're covered in a lot of mud. The roads in the town, on the other hand, are usually excellent. Then, in the country, there's nothing to do during our free time. But in the town, there's lots to do.
For example?
For example, we can watch cable television and videos, go to bars and see shows.
Not everyone wants these things. Neither do we want to suffer from all the pollution in the town.
Chapter 16, Unit 1. The most important thing in life. Section A3. Listen to the telephone conversation between Bill Jones and Mao T.
Hello, Bill. This is T.
Hi, T. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
Not so bad. What are you doing?
I'm writing to Monika. She's due to get married soon.
Really? Who's she getting married to?
An Englishman. His name's Mike.
How long has she known him?
Since the Khmer New Year.
How long ago's that?
Since last April.
Oh, 3 months ago. You've never said anything about it. How long have you known?
Just a few days, since I received her letter.
Oh, I see. Were you pleased when you found out?
I was delighted. I mean, isn't love the most important thing in life?
What are you talking about, T? Football's the most important thing in life, and I'm ready to play now.
Aren't we playing for the school tomorrow?
Yes, of course, but we've got to practice. Practice makes perfect, and I want to be perfect.
Well, don't panic. I've only got a bit more to write, so hopefully I'll be able to finish the letter soon.
How long have you been writing it?
For about an hour. I've only got 1 sheet of paper left now, so don't worry.
Perfect. When you've finished, come round and we'll play a game before lunch.
Chapter 17, Unit 1, Dara's Illness. Section A2, listen to the story and dialogue.
Today, Mr. Keodara is seeing Dr. Sok Chenda at Champa Hospital.
Good morning, Dara. How can I help you?
I haven't felt well for a few days, Chenda.
Can you tell me what's wrong with you?
Well, I've got a fever and I don't feel hungry.
I see. How are you sleeping?
I can't sleep well either.
I'm sorry to hear that. Can I examine you? Your lips are very white. Have you been to a forest area recently?
Yes, I went to Mondulkiri last month.
Well, I think you may have malaria.
Oh dear. Is malaria very serious, Chenda?
No, we could cure it easily. You could rest here in hospital until you make a complete recovery. People only become seriously ill from malaria when it's not treated.
Oh dear. Is malaria a long-term illness then? If I stop work for a long time, my manager will sack me.
Don't worry, Dara. If you have malaria, I'm sure you'll recover quickly. But first you must have a blood test to find out if you have it or not.
Can I have the test here?
Chapter 17, Unit 2. What did the doctor say? Section A3. Listen to the dialogue.
Hello, Bora. Kim Seng told me that your father isn't feeling very well.
Yes, he's got a fever.
I'm sorry to hear that. Has he been to see Dr. Chenda yet?
Yes, he went to see her yesterday.
What does she think?
She thinks that he may have malaria.
Has he had a blood test yet?
Yes, he had one yesterday, and he'll get the result this morning.
I see. Did Dr. Chenda say that he'll have to stay in hospital if he's got malaria?
Yes. My father said that the cure for malaria involves a course of treatment, and that a careful record has to be kept. So Dr. Chenda says that it's better for him to stay in the hospital.
Yes, the nurses will be able to care for him, and he'll be able to rest there.
Will he need to be injected, do you think, Ratana?
I'm not sure. Some people like injections, but they depress me.
I hope they won't depress my father if he has to have them.
Well, Dr. Chenda says that depression only makes things worse when people are ill. So if your father doesn't like injections, I'm sure she won't give them to him.
Yes, I'm sure you're right, Ratana. Dr. Chenda is such a kind person.
Chapter 18, Unit 2, Monika and Mike. Section A2. Listen to the dialogue.
Who are the people in this photo, Kim Seng?
This is my cousin Monika, and this is my friend Mike.
Who's that on Monica's left?
That's Sochita. She's Boraz's sister.
Oh yes, I can see that her features are similar to Boraz. When did Monika and Mike marry?
Last July.
Have they been living in Cambodia ever since then?
No, in August they went to England where Mike's parents live. Monika's parents live there as well.
Really? How long have they been living there?
Since about 1974 or 5.
They must be happy there.
Oh yes, without a doubt.
But don't you think they'll be even happier when Monika has a baby? I expect they'd be delighted to have a grandson or granddaughter.
Yes, but not too early.
Oh, I'm surprised. Why not?
Children are a responsibility. They need a lot of time and money, so they tend to be a liability.
That's right. I even read about someone who can't tolerate his own children and gets offended when they're noisy or difficult.
Well, I don't think that's right. Personally, I like children, and I think Monika and Mike do too.
Chapter 18, Unit 3. Monika in England. Section A3. Listen to the story and the dialogue.
After their wedding in Cambodia, Monika and Mike flew to England, where they planned to have another wedding ceremony. Monika phoned Sochita from England.
Hello, Monika. How are you? Are you enjoying your time in England?
Yes, I'm fine, thanks, Sochita.
Where are you staying? With your parents?
No, we're staying with Mike's parents. We stayed with my parents last week.
I see. What else have you been doing?
Well, we've been visiting our friends and relatives. Yesterday we went to Mike's secondary school, where he studied when he was young. And I've been looking for something that you might like, Sochita.
Oh, don't spend any money on me, Monika.
But I must get you something, Sochita.
Well, how about something small, like instant coffee?
But Sochita, you can get that in Phnom Penh.
Well, perhaps you could look for something I can't get in Phnom Penh. I hope you haven't been shopping all the time and spending too much money.
Well, everything's so expensive here, Sochita. What can I do?
Come back here.
Don't worry, Sochita, I will. England's very beautiful, but I prefer Cambodia. Plus, that's where my job is.
Plus, this is where your home is. How about the weather in England? Is it very cold and depressing?
No, this is a good time to be in England. The weather's perfect. Not too hot and not too cold. The cold weather will come after a month, but I'll be back in Cambodia before then.
Chapter 19, Unit 3. Some fish are dangerous. Section A2. Listen to the dialogue.
Hello, Rotana. Where have you been?
Champa Hospital.
What were you doing there?
I was just taking some apples. Ratanak bought a whole sack of them from Phnom Penh yesterday.
Were you taking them for one of the patients?
No, I gave them to your mother. I expect she'll share them with the nurses and patients.
Are you certain? She might eat them all herself.
Kim Seng, how can you speak like that about your mother? You know she's not like that.
It was only a joke, Rotana. How about Ratanak? Is he at home?
Not at the moment. He's gone fishing.
Wow! Let's go and join him.
You can go, Kim Seng. I don't like fishing.
Why not?
Well, look at that.
What's wrong with your hand?
A fish bit it.
How? What were you doing?
Ratanak caught quite a large fish and I was trying to put it in the bin when it bit my thumb.
Well, I'm not afraid of fish. I'll go and get my fishing things and join your brother. Bye!
Chapter Chapter 20, Unit 1, The Plowing Ceremony, Part 1. Section B3, Listen to the dialogue.
Good morning, students. You'll be pleased to know that tomorrow is a holiday for the ploughing ceremony. Has anyone seen it?
I saw it last year, but I'd like to see it again.
What was it like, Kim Seng?
It was an exciting occasion, particularly when the two royal cattle chose from a range of things that were arranged for them to eat and drink.
I wonder what kind of things they were given.
They were given 7 different things, Ratana. Rice, corn, seeds, beans, grass, water and wine.
What strange things! Why were they given them?
Because Cambodia's destiny during the year was predicted from what they ate.
What did they eat last year?
Rice and corn. They also drank some water.
Where was the ceremony held?
In Phnom Penh, in the field just north of the Royal Palace, in front of the National Museum.
Was the ploughing done by the king?
No, he hasn't done it for a long time.
Who was allowed to attend the ceremony?
Well, there were important people, like members of the royal family, monks, politicians and the military. Then there were ordinary people, who just mixed together in the crowd.
It sounds as if it was exciting.
It was, Ratana. Why don't you come and watch this year's ceremony on the television in my house?
Thanks, Kim Seng, I will.